मॅडम. हा ओके. मॅडम सुरू करू का? हॅलो हॅलो, एक मिनिट मॅडमला विचारा. आहेत का मॅडम? अनम्यूट आहेत का मॅडम? मॅडम आहेत का? हा, वर घ्या ना, आपल्या स्क्रीनवर दिसत नाहीत मॅडम. दिसत बोलू. हॅलो मॅडम, चालू करू का मी? गुळवे मॅडम बोलते. हॅलो हॅलो, हॅलो हॅलो मॅडम. हॅलो देशमुख सर, ऐकू येतं का? देशमुख सर.
येस येस, मला पूर्ण ऐकू येते. मॅडमचा कनेक्टिव्हिटीचा प्रॉब्लेम आहे.
मॅडमचा का?
कनेक्टिव्हिटीचा प्रॉब्लेम आहे मॅडमचा, इथून दिसतंय मला.
हो का? एक
हा.
मिनिट. कानडेला फोन.
मॅडम दिसत आहेत, परंतु त्यांचा आवाज ऐकू येत नाही कारण कनेक्टिव्हिटीचा प्रॉब्लेम आहे.
एक मिनिट सर.
हॅलो.
मॅडम
हॅलो, हा मॅडम. हा, येतो का आवाज मॅडम?
हा, आता येतोय. आता
ओके, सुरू करू मॅडम? हो
हरकत
हो ओके. दिस टाइम. ओके. गुड आफ्टरनून एव्हरीबडी. नवगण शिक्षण संस्था राजुरी, सौ केशरबाई सोनाजीराव क्षीरसागर, आर्ट्स कॉमर्स अँड सायन्स कॉलेज बीड, डिपार्टमेंट of microbiology, organize this national level webinar entitled Challenges in Vaccination for COVID-19. I have immense pleasure to introduce you about today's chairperson of seminar is our beloved principal, Dr. Deepatai Shirsagar, and today's attraction, that is chief guest, is eminent microbiologist, Dr. M. Deshmukh sir, President, Microbiology Society of India. Vice Principals of our college, Dr. Abhasai Bhange and Dr. Shivananda Shirsagar, and all participants from all over India and abroad. First of all, I would say few words about our principal, Dr. Deepatai Shirsagar, who always inspire us performing academic and research activities in our college premises. She is a very enthusiastic and actively participate in all our academic activities. Especially, she has keen interest in the science and microbiology subject. She has a lot of experience in academic, administrative, and research activities. There about a dozen books are on her credit. State books from last 3 consecutive terms of university election.
प्लीज अनम्यूट. गुळवे मॅडम, प्लीज अनम्यूट yourself.
Sure. Lastly, I would like to mention her contribution and various fields that she has achieved several awards. She is a woman of encourage and helping hands. We are proud about her contribution. Now, I would like to request our principal, Dr. Deepatai Shirsagar, to give her introductory speech of today's national webinar. Principal Dr. Deepatai Shirsagar, please.
आज KSK महाविद्यालय यांच्या वतीनं 2019च्या लसीकरणाची आव्हाने हा अतिशय मला वाटतं महत्वाचा आणि सध्याचा अतिशय ज्वलंत प्रश्न असलेला असा विषय मायक्रोबायोलॉजी डिपार्टमेंटने निवडला आहे. नवगण शिक्षण संस्था राजुरी नवगण संचलित सौ केशरबाई सोनाजीराव क्षीरसागर उर्फ कला वाणिज्य महाविद्यालय बीड या आमच्या महाविद्यालयातील सूक्ष्मजीवशास्त्र पदव्युत्तर व संशोधक विभागाने आयोजित केलेल्या आजच्या नॅशनल वेबिनार मध्ये मी सर्व सहभागी आलेल्या प्रतिनिधींचे महाविद्यालयाच्या वतीनं मनपूर्वक स्वागत करते. आजच्या या वेबिनारचे प्रमुख आकर्षण, प्रमुख अतिथी आदरणीय डॉक्टर एम देशमुखजी, अध्यक्ष ऑल इंडिया मायक्रोबायोलॉजिकल सोसायटी, रिटायर सूक्ष्मजीवशास्त्र विभाग प्रमुख उपकेंद्र डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर मराठवाडा विद्यापीठ उस्मानाबाद, अग्रगण्य असे सूक्ष्मजीवशास्त्र असे अतिथी याचा मनस्वी वाटतो आणि त्यांचं मी मनापासून या ठिकाणी स्वागत करते. त्याचबरोबर या ठिकाणी ज्यांनी या वेबिनार साठी मेहनत घेतली किंवा ही कल्पना ज्यांना सुचली अशा अतिशय मेहनती आणि आमच्या या विभागाचं नेहमीच कार्य चांगलं करणाऱ्या डॉक्टर रेखा गुळवे मॅडम, मायक्रोबायोलॉजी विभाग प्रमुख आणि पदव्युत्तर विभाग प्रमुख, डॉक्टर सुधाकर गुट्टे त्यांचे सहकारी प्राध्यापक असे दोघांनी मिळून या ठिकाणी अतिशय मेहनतीनं हा एक ज्वलंत असणारा विषय या ठिकाणी ठेवलेला आहे. याबद्दल खरोखरच मला त्याच्यात समाधान वाटते. आमचे महाविद्यालय जे आहे ते आमचे श्रद्धास्थान असलेल्या आणि प्रेरणास्त्रोत असलेल्या बीड जिल्ह्याच्या माजी खासदार स्वर्गीय केशरबाई सोनाजीराव क्षीरसागर यांनी ग्रामीण भागातील विद्यार्थींना उच्च शिक्षणाच्या संधी प्राप्त करून देण्याबरोबरच त्यांच्यात वैज्ञानिक दृष्टिकोन विकसित करण्याच्या उद्देशाने 1971 मध्ये या कॉलेजची स्थापना केलेली आहे. या प्रसंगी आवर्जून उल्लेख करावासा वाटतो की आमच्या महाविद्यालयाने नेटच्या तृतीय पुनर्मूल्यांकन चक्रामध्ये 3.18 CGPA सह A ग्रेड प्राप्त केला. तसेच महाविद्यालयाच्या गौरवाची बाब म्हणजे विविध विद्याशाखांमधील अद्ययावत व सक्रिय 4 संशोधन केंद्र असून ई-ग्रंथालय, समृद्ध प्रयोगशाळा, सुसज्ज इमारत व मूलभूत पायाभूत सुविधांनी युक्त असे हे महाविद्यालय आहे. 2020 वर्षाच्या प्रारंभीच कोविड-19 या जागतिक महामारीने झालेला दिसतो आणि बघता बघता या 10 महिन्याच्या कालावधीत कोरोना व्हायरस विषाणूने संपूर्ण जग ग्रासले आहे. आज मितीला कोरोना बाधितांची संख्या पुढे गेलेली असून मृत्यूची संख्या 8 लाखाच्याही वर गेलेली आहे. कोरोना रुग्णांचा रिकव्हरी रेट हा 68% असला तरी त्याची लागण व प्रसार झपाट्याने होत असल्याने ही गंभीर बाब आहे. असे असल्याने आज अनेक देशात कोरोना या महामारीवर नियंत्रण आणण्यासाठी लस निर्मिती प्रक्रिया व संशोधन युद्ध पातळीवर चालू असते. आज जगभरात सुमारे 150 ठिकाणी विविध लसी तयार करण्याचे आणि त्यांची टेस्टिंग करण्याचे काम सुरू आहे. ही आशादायक बाब आहे. आपल्या देशात सुद्धा कोरोना या 3 प्रकारच्या लसींवर अहोरात्र काम चालू आहे. माननीय पंतप्रधानांच्या 15 ऑगस्ट रोजीच्या देशाला उद्देशून केलेल्या भाषणातून या कोरोना लस निर्मिती, वितरण, साठवणूक व विविध टप्प्यांवरील जागतिक मान्यतेच्या संदर्भातील सर्व नियोजन व व्यवस्थापनाची जबाबदारी शासकीय पातळीवर त्याचा उल्लेख केला आहे. कोविड-19 वर संपूर्ण करण्यासाठी आपल्या देशात आज अर्धा डझन पेक्षाही जास्त नामांकित कंपन्या कोरोना लस निर्मितीवर अहोरात्र काम करत असून 2021 मध्ये ही लस सर्वांसाठी उपलब्ध करून देण्याचा निर्धार व्यक्त केला जात आहे. ही बाब आपल्या सर्वांच्या दृष्टीनं आनंदाची आहे. त्याप्रमाणे देशात
कोरोना वॅक्सिन कशी काढायची
नव्हे तर व्हायरस पुरवठादार देश म्हणून आज भारताचा नाव झालेला आहे. सामान्यतः कोणत्याही रोगावरील विकसित करण्यासाठी 10-12 वर्षाचा लागतो व जलद गतीने लस विकसित करण्यात तरी त्याला किमान 12 ते 18 महिन्याचा कालावधी पार करणं अटळ असतं. कोणतीही लस बाजारात आणण्यासाठी जागतिक आरोग्य संघटनेच्या WHO नियमावलीनुसार सुमारे 5 टप्पे स्टेप्स पार कराव्या लागतात. पहिला टप्पा लस निर्मिती, दुसरा टप्पा चाचणी टेस्टिंग, 1-2 चाचण्या, तिसरा टप्पा WHO ची स्वीकृती मान्यता, चौथा टप्पा मोठ्या प्रमाणावर उत्पादन करणे, 5वा टप्पा वितरण लसीकरण करणे. कोरोनावर यशस्वी व विश्वासार्ह लस तयार करणे हे मोठे आव्हान चॅलेंज असले तरी ते अनेक देशांनी पेलले आहे. त्यात आपला भारत देश सुद्धा सहभागी आहे. कोविड-19च्या लसीकरण मोहिमेत अनेक आव्हाने आपल्या समोर आहेत. त्यापैकी पुढील आव्हाने स्पष्टपणे मला वाटतं सांगता येतील. एक म्हणजे उत्पादन. जागतिक सुमारे 750 कोटी लोकसंख्येचा विचार करून या लसीचे प्रमाण मोठ्या प्रमाणावर उत्पादन करणं हे आवश्यक आहे. चाचणी हे दुसरं आव्हान मला वाटतं, कारण टेस्टिंगचे 1, 2 आणि 3 टप्पे पार पाडणे. पहिली टेस्टिंग, दुसरी टेस्टिंग, तिसरी टेस्टिंग. तिसरं म्हणजे साठवणूक. एवढ्या मोठ्या प्रमाणावरील लसींची साठवणूक करण्यासाठी काचेच्या बॉटल्स असतील, शीतपेट्या असतील, शीतगृहे असतील, पॅकिंगचे साहित्य असेल, तर हे सगळं सुद्धा याचं सुद्धा आपल्याला नियोजन सगळ्यांना करावं लागणार आहे. WHO ची मान्यता हा एक महत्वाचा मुद्दा आहे. जागतिक आरोग्य संघटनेच्या सर्व अटी आणि शर्तींच्या पूर्ततेनंतरच याला मान्यता मिळणार आहे. वितरण विकसित देशाबरोबरच विकसनशील व गरीब देशामधील सामान्य जनतेपर्यंत तात्काळ आणि अल्प दरात लसीची उपलब्धी करून देण्यासाठी अर्थात वितरण व्यवस्था सुद्धा मला वाटतं फार महत्वाची आहे. हे सुद्धा अत्यंत महत्वाचं आव्हान आपल्या पुढं असेल. प्रशिक्षित कर्मचारी, लस देण्यासाठी सुद्धा स्टाफ किंवा कर्मचारी चांगला लागणार आहे. लसीकरण प्रक्रिया यशस्वीपणे पार पाडण्यासाठी व प्रत्येक व्यक्तीच्या दारात पोहोचण्यासाठी हा महत्वाचा भाग आहे. लसीची योग्य हाताळणी, वाहतूक, लसीकरणाची स्किल, कौशल्य हे आत्मसात असणारी माणसं हे ट्रेनिंग सुद्धा द्यावं लागणार आहे. विश्वासार्हता हा सुद्धा एक महत्वाचा मुद्दा आहे. ही सर्वात महत्वाची गोष्ट आहे. लसीची हमी, खात्री की जेणेकरून 100% कोरोनापासून कायमची मुक्ती आणि सुटका होण्यासाठी तिची विश्वासार्हता हे सुद्धा मला वाटतं मोठं आव्हान आहे. अशी अनेक आव्हानं समोर आहेत. लस कधी येणार म्हणून सर्वजण वाट पाहतायत. अगदी चातकासारखी जगामध्ये त्याची वाट पाहिली जाते आहे. लवकरात लवकर ही लस आली पाहिजे आणि ही मनुष्य जी महामारी आहे, अनेक माणसं यामध्ये मृत्युमुखी पडतायत. तर यासाठी लवकर लस येणं हे गरजेचं आहे आणि त्यासाठी सर्व शास्त्रज्ञ जीवापाड मेहनत करतायत आणि त्याला नक्कीच यश येईल असं मला वाटतं. लवकरच यश येईल याची खात्री वाटते आणि आपले भारतीय संशोधक सुद्धा त्यात पुढे राहतील याचा सुद्धा मला विश्वास वाटतो. अतिशय छान विषय घेऊन या ठिकाणी म्हणजे अतिशय गंभीर आहे आणि महत्वाचा आहे आणि करंट आहे असा विषय घेऊन आमच्या डिपार्टमेंट हे वेबिनार आयोजित केलं. त्याबद्दल पुन्हा एकदा सर्वांना मी धन्यवाद देते. आमच्या महाविद्यालयाचे उपप्राचार्य डॉक्टर क्षीरसागर, डॉक्टर हांगे या सर्वांचं सुद्धा पुन्हा एक प्रमुख अतिथी आणि विशेष डॉक्टर AM देशमुखजी यांचं पूर्वक स्वागत करते. त्यांच्या ज्ञानाचा लाभ आपल्याला घ्यायचा आहे आणि म्हणून मी अधिक न बोलता माझं प्रास्ताविक मनोगत जे आहे ते संपवते. धन्यवाद.
Thank you, madam. You have highlighted on various aspects of today's webinar. Thank you. Now we are eager to listen today's resource person, Dr. AM Deshmukh sir. Now I am introducing today's eminent resource person, Dr. AM Deshmukh, President of Microbiologist Society, India. Being a microbiologist, he has too much contribution in the development of microbiology subject. All of us know him as a retired professor and head of Department of Microbiology, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Subcenter, Usmanabad. He is the chief editor of Journal of Microbial World, which is very popular in the field of microbiology. 3 research projects are his credit. Also, he wrote 4 books and edited 7 books of microbiology. 82 research papers were published by him in various national and international research journals of science. In his career, he has organized about 35 state, national, and international level conferences, seminars, and workshops in India and abroad. Dr. M. Deshmukh sir acts as a resource person in near about 135 conferences at colleges and university level. He also created awareness among the students, farmers, rural society about biofertilizers and biopesticides, vermicompost, pure water, and environmental pollution. As an academician, he enjoyed several positions in the university authorities, that is chairman of BOS, BUTR, Academic Council, RRC, and active member of various bodies. From last 5 years, he conducting virtual classes in microbiology. Lectures of eminent scientists from India and abroad are arranged thousands of students taking advantage. His interest area are nanotechnology, biotechnological solution to e-waste, biodiversity of actinomyces, biogas, and dye degradation. For presentation of research paper, he visited Japan, Malaysia, Nepal, Bangladesh, Thailand, Indonesia, Dubai, Singapore, Mauritius, Bhutan, Sri Lanka. He organized international conferences at Karad, Aurangabad, Sri Lanka, Bhutan, Mauritius, Dubai, USA, Port Blair, Andaman. Nowadays, he is taking too much efforts for creating awareness about COVID-19 pandemic among society through his speeches. We are proud about availability of such versatile personality as a resource person for this national webinar. Now I request Dr. Deshmukh sir to give us valuable speech on challenges in vaccination for COVID-19. Thank you, Dr. Deshmukh sir. Please, sir. Deshmukh sir.
Thank you, madam. At the outset, I'm very thankful to the Naugan Education Society for giving me an opportunity to interact with the eminent scholars and research workers who are waiting eagerly for knowing the updates in vaccination. I am really thankful to Honorable Principal of your college, Dr. Kshirsagar ma'am. And I would like to tell one more thing. I am today very someone is has not muted his audio. Please.
झूम काढा ओपन करा मी सांगतो तुम्हाला.
I request host to close the
जॉइन केला का झूम ओपन केलं का सर झालं बघा.
करा सर आवाज म्यूट करा.
Everyone should mute. Please, everyone should take precaution, that is mute your audio. Please mute your audio. There is an interference. There is an interference. Host can mute it.
देशमुख सरांचं ओपन. देशमुख सरांचं अनम्यूट करा. येत नाही आवाज सरांचा.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, I request host to allow me to share my screen. Allow me to share my screen. Please, or otherwise you share the screen, anything. Host should allow me to share my screen.
केलं. Okay, sir.
Okay? Yes. It is a screen is, can you share the screen? Because Wait, 1 minute, 1 minute. Yes, I can. 1 minute, please, please. Within 1 minute, I will share the screen. I think there is some problem. Can you share the screen? You can share the screen.
झालं सर.
Screen share. Screen share.
You can share my presentation, my PPT. Okay, okay. Make it full screen. Make it full screen. Okay,
screen.
thank you. So I am very happy today to deliver the talk in the college, which is my college. My college meaning is that I am originally from Geurai, that is in Beed district. So my hometown, Beed is my hometown. So I am very happy to deliver the lecture. I am really thankful to Dr. Gulve ma'am, Dr. Gutte sir, and his colleagues for organizing such a nice event and on a very, very important topic. Why I am telling this is an important topic? The reason is that throughout the world, today you ask one question. What for you are waiting now? And throughout the world, the answer will be vaccine, vaccine, and vaccine. So everyone in the world is waiting for vaccine and vaccine. So we must know what is the present status of vaccine, updates of vaccine, and when vaccine will come, and every one of us will be free from corona calamity. So next slide, please.
Next one.
What is a vaccine? Let us start from vaccine first, and then we'll go to the COVID vaccine. And what is the situation today? Again, you see, at the beginning only, I would like to tell one thing. Everyone is waiting for the vaccine, and everyone is thinking, some problem is there. Someone has not muted. Someone has not muted. Khetri sir has not muted. Khetri sir, please mute your mic.
Khetri sir.
Okay. Again, few more has not muted. I request everyone take the precaution that don't interfere the lecture, don't interfere the others. Please mute, take the precaution that mute your audio so that without any interference we can proceed. So at the outset, let me clarify one thing. Everyone is waiting for vaccine and everyone believes that vaccine will come and we'll free from corona. But being a microbiologist, I would like to tell you that the vaccine is not going to end the corona. Meaning is that we are waiting for a vaccine. But I want to tell you, vaccine is not going to end your corona. The herd immunity is going to end this calamity. Meaning is that immunities are two type of immunities. One is a natural immunity, second is a induced immunity. Natural immunity is acquired by herd immunity, and serosurveillance at present, which are carried out in Mumbai, in Delhi, and in different parts of the world, they indicate that we are approaching toward the herd immunity, that is natural immunity. And induced immunity is caused by vaccine. So let me clarify you again. Our coronavirus calamity will end before vaccine will come into market. So do we mean that vaccine do not have importance? Vaccine is a very, very important. The reason is that we don't know this natural immunity, what is the timing for natural immunity? Why? This virus is a new virus. And the stepbrothers of COVID-19, for example, SARS virus, MERS virus, they are showing 2 years immunity. Natural immunity is only for 2 years. So after 2 years, we'll require the vaccine. At least at present, there is a possibility that herd immunity will end this calamity. But we need a vaccine. What is vaccine? Vaccine is any preparation intended to produce immunity to a disease. How? By stimulating the production of antibodies. Now you see, all of you are microbiologists. You see, again I am telling host. Host can mute everyone. It is the duty of host. Mute everyone. So mute everyone. Host can mute everyone.
क्या करते कॉलेज लंच ब्रेक में कैसा
Okay. So all are being from science field. You know the antibodies. Antibodies are for protection of the disease. So vaccine, antibody production, it includes, for example, suspension of, what is vaccine? It is a suspension of hello. Yes, very good. Now the host has muted everyone. Okay. So suspension of killed or attenuated microorganisms. I'm going to tell in detail later on. Or products or derivative of microorganism. The most common method of administration of vaccine is by injection. Some are given by mouth. Some are given by nasal spray. There are nasal vaccines also. So like that, there are number of vaccines which can induce the immunity. Next slide, please. Next slide. Now, the vaccines stimulate immune system. Slowly and slowly, I am approaching to the COVID-19. A vaccine is a biological preparation that improves the immunity to a particular disease. The vaccine typically contains an agent that resembles a disease. You see, meaning is that we are deceiving immune system. How we are deceiving? The immune system in our body can fight with the pathogen. We are deceiving the immune system. immune system believes that pathogen is inside. He thinks that pathogen. But we are not giving pathogen. We are giving the part of pathogen or killed pathogen. Immune system cannot differentiate in between killed and alive. He understands that pathogen is there and he attack on that. So vaccine typically contains an agent that resembles a disease causing microorganism and is often made from the weakened or killed from the microbes. The agent stimulates the bacterial immune system to recognize the agent as foreign and destroy it. One more again very important advantage of the stimulation of immunization. There is a memory in our body. Again, you see, whenever any pathogen enters in our body, first there is adaptive immunity, and after the adaptive immunity, the T cells and B cells, they are creating antibody. So the T cells are having memory. It is very important. They are having memory. Memory meaning is that they keep in their brain, like we are having memory. I am having memory of microbiology. T cells are having memory. That which organism has already attacked our body and which type of antibodies are required for which type of cells. That memory, creation of the memory is important, and vaccine creates a memory in the T cell. That is very important. So after 2 years, after 5 years, after 10 years, whenever there is an attack of that organism, body is now having memory, T cell is having memory, and T cell immediately produces a specific antibody. Again, I am using the word specific because any biological system is always a specific. Specificity is an important characteristic of the antibody. So specific antibodies will be produced. That's why there are different vaccines for the different diseases. Up to the time, about 50 vaccines are known. More than many vaccines are known. So all these vaccines are specific, and T cell is having memory for each pathogen. They recognize, destroy, attack on that, and destroy them. Next slide. So it is very important. Again, let us come to the discovery of vaccine. Actually, credit goes to the Edward Jenner. In 1796, first time he used the word vaccine because vacca means cow. In Latin, vacca means cow. What is the relation of vaccine with the cow? At that time, there was a smallpox, like a coronavirus attack. At that time, smallpox was attacking everywhere in the world, creating a pandemic, epidemic, and endemic. And how to get rid from the smallpox, that was a problem. Now, Edward Jenner, you see, in the science, what is the importance? Importance is a keen observation. Edward Jenner was having keen observation. He observed that the milkmaid, that is a dairy persons, are not suffering from smallpox. Why? The question in his mind, why the person's milkmaid or why the dairy persons are not suffering by the smallpox? He observed that they are coming in contact with the cowpox. You see, cowpox is a disease of cow. And these milkmaids are coming regularly in contact with the cowpox, suffering by cowpox, but cowpox is a milder, very mild pathogenic organism. So he found that whenever the persons are suffering from cowpox and getting recovered, then they do not suffer from smallpox. So he thought that the cowpox, which is a milder version of the smallpox, can protect anyone from the smallpox. He tried and he got a success. When he administered human cowpox, organism, pathogens from the cowpox, he observed that these persons are protected from smallpox, and he got a credit. Meaning is that first vaccine was discovered in 1796 by Edward Jenner scientist, and the era of vaccination started. Next slide. Afterward, credit goes to the Louis Pasteur. In 1885, meaning is that after 100 years after the Jenner, 100 years, 1885, Louis Pasteur first time discovered the rabies vaccine. He first tried this vaccine on the dog, and he found that dogs are protected. So he was sure about his vaccine. But to try on the human being was risky. One day, one lady came in his hospital. He was a doctor. She came in his hospital, and his 8 years boy was beaten by a rabid dog. It was sure that he will die. So he asked that mother, I will try my vaccine. It is a risk, but your son is going to die after all. Can I take a risk? Can you take a risk? Mother was ready, and he inoculated that vaccine on the small boy. And to his surprise, the boy protected. That was the first beginning of viral disease. That is, rabies is a viral disease. So first he gave the protection against the rabies. And later on, there is a series of number of vaccination. Let us go one by one. Next slide, please. So then history in 18th century, then I am telling you, just it is a list. Cholera vaccine is available, tetanus vaccine, typhoid vaccine, plague vaccine is there, smallpox vaccine is there. I will not go in detail, just I will read it only. Next slide, please, because it is only merely a list. So the diphtheria, tuberculosis, pertussis, yellow fever, typhus, influenza, so on. Next slide again. And measles, mumps. So many vaccines are there up to 2016. The Ebola virus is the latest vaccine. Next slide, please. Hepatitis B vaccine is also there. And there are different types of vaccine. You see. What are the types? I am going to tell you detail because we are coming in contact, we are discussing the COVID-19 vaccine. The main categories are live attenuated vaccine. What is a live attenuated? I will explain it. Just I have given an example. Measles, mumps and rubella, they are live attenuated. Polio also live attenuated. Inactivated vaccine are rabies, anthrax, pertussis, and different are the inactivated. The inactivated toxins are also there, tetanus, diphtheria. Subcellular function, there is a parts, then pneumococcal, hepatitis B, and genetically engineered is a hepatitis B. Next slide. So now let us go one by one, and we'll come in contest with the COVID-19. Killed vaccine. Because in India, the 3 vaccine candidates are very popular. Among them, one is killed, one is attenuated. What are the advantages? What are the disadvantages? What are the stages? What are the challenges? We'll discuss in detail. So the killed vaccine. Some vaccines contain killed but previously virulent microorganism. They were virulent, but now they are killed and that have been destroyed with chemicals like a formalin or heat or radioactivity or by antibiotics. They are totally killed, so they are safe. They are the most safe vaccine. Next is a attenuated vaccine. No, sorry, previous slide, please. Attenuated vaccine. Some vaccines contain live attenuated microorganism. What is attenuation? Attenuation meaning is that they are live vaccine, but only their virulence is lost. They are totally live as a natural, but they have lost their virulence. Many of these live viruses that have been cultivated under condition means they are cultivated in such a condition, they will lose their virulence. And they are less dangerous organism, produce a broad, but they can produce an immune response. They have lost their virulence, but they are still having immunogenicity. Means they are immunogenic. And as they are immunogenic, they can cause antibody production. So they are live vaccine. But only the problem with this vaccine is that their administration is risky. Sometimes it is risky. If it is reverted back, you see. Now how it is attenuated? Sometimes chemical mutagens are used, mutations are carried out, and because of the mutation they have lost their virulence. But is there any possibility that mutation will revert? If the mutation will revert and again it becomes a virulence, it may kill the host instead of protecting the host. That is the danger always with the attenuated live vaccine. That's why but there are advantages that we are going to see, because some vaccines in India are live and some are killed vaccine than subunit vaccine. Subunit vaccine meaning is that, you see, antibodies are having biological specificity. They bind to the microorganism, to the pathogenic organism and inactivate it. But where they bind? They bind at a receptor sites. If we prepare a vaccine of that receptor site, what will happen? Antibodies will be formed against that receptor site. Not necessary to use whole organism. You can use a part of the organism. That is called as a subunit. And if that subunit is used, many examples are given again. If that subunit is used, it can be conjugated also. Because sometimes the subunit is a very small in size. And if it is a small in size, antibody will not be produced. So it is conjugated with some other polysaccharide. Its size is increased. And that stimulates the antibody production in host. So the subunit vaccine is there. Next again, the next vaccine, please. Toxoid vaccine. Last slide. Toxoid vaccine. One before slide. Please take backward. Yes. Toxoid is some organisms are producing toxin. Then why to kill the organism? We have to inactivate the toxin only, because toxin is damaging our body. So produce a vaccine against only on that toxin. So toxoid vaccines are made from inactivated toxic compounds that cause illness rather than the microorganism. So diphtheria is killing human being by toxin production. So toxoid vaccines are used. As I told you, conjugate vaccines are there. In the Haemophilus influenza, conjugate vaccines are used. The next again, they are killed by the formalin, for example, rabies. Live attenuated mutagenic MMR vaccine. Subunits, adjuvants are also added in the subunit vaccine, hepatitis B vaccine. And toxoids are killed or destroyed, their power is destroyed with the formalin tetanus diphtheria toxin. Let us come to the viruses now. Next slide, please. Next slide. Oh, now let us come to the COVID, because whole world is now suffering by COVID. And you see, everyone is talking about the coronavirus, and coronavirus, COVID-19. But let me warn you again, all people, that will get covered from this COVID-19. But again, another virus may come after 10 years, after 8 years. There is always risk, mind it well. Now, human beings should be ready to tackle the entry of, there are thousands of viruses which are in the animal, which are in the forest. We are going to disturb the forest. We are going to enter into the ecology of the animals, niche of the animals, and we are disturbing them. Viruses are coming in the human being. This is one of the virus, COVID-19. So now everyone is talking about the vaccination of COVID-19. As of now, 231 such vaccine candidates are available. And as Deepa ma'am has told, rightly told, that the phases are there, and first phase is the research on that. Among 231, only 26 are at a clinical trial level. Only 26 are at a clinical trial level. We are going, what is a clinical trial level? All others are either at a research level or preclinical trial level. So they are either at a research level or preclinical trial level. Only 26 are at a clinical trial level throughout the world. Among them, 20 are in phase 1 and phase 2. And these has to take a permission from WHO, FDA. You see, Food and Drug Administration from USA. It is considered as a most authentic body in the world. So only 20 candidates are in phase 1 and phase 2. 6 of these vaccines have entered into phase 3. Phase 3 is considered to be the last phase. And after that, we have to take only approval. So after that, whenever the third phase will be over, then the fourth phase is approval, fifth phase is a production of the vaccine, and then the distribution of vaccine. Meaning is that it's not so easy. I'm coming to the point. Every epidemiologist, every industrialist, which industrialist? Vaccine producing industrialist, is telling again and again that 2 years will be required for vaccination of the India or vaccination of the world. Minimum 2 years will be required. But unfortunately, the WhatsApp University and the different TV channels are showing that vaccine is coming in December, coming in January, coming within 2 months. It is impossible. To reach up to you and me, it will take minimum 2 years. As a clinical trial are rate limiting and time consuming. How much time consuming? I am going to tell you. Some vaccines have required 40 years to develop. For example, HIV vaccine. Work is going on. Still there is no vaccine on the HIV. Since 40 years the work is going on, but there is no vaccine for HIV. For influenza, there is a vaccine, but every year we have to change the vaccine because the virus is changing its antigenicity. There are many challenges, you see. The challenges is to develop the vaccine. Once the vaccine is developed, it is working today, but after 6 months, whether it will work or not, we don't know. The Aadhar Poonawalla clearly has told that we have also prepared the vaccine, but we don't know how far immunity will be developed in the human being. Whether it will be developed in 6 months, for 6 months, whether it will be developed for 3 months, whether it will be developed for 2 years, whether it will be developed for lifelong. The industrialists and all scientists are telling that nothing is clear. We are throwing stone in the dark, but only hopes and hopes and hopes. Because human beings live on the hope, and we have to think positively. So the vaccine is include parallel phases 1 and I'm coming to now parallel phases 1 and 2nd trial. Next slide, please. I'm coming to the point. Next slide, please. What is the outline? You see, outline for vaccine development. First is the introduction. Second is a vaccine development. So carry out the research. We have to work on the virus, isolate the virus, study the characteristic of the virus, study the antigenicity of the virus, study the virulence of the virus. It takes more than 5 years, you see. Luckily, on this virus, we were working from 2 years back on not on this virus, not on the COVID-19, but brothers of COVID-19, that is the SARS and MERS. So maximum study we have carried out already. We know it. And we were working already, we have studied on the characteristic of that virus. Now, after the characteristic, preclinical evaluation is very important. Preclinical evaluation, you see, preclinical evaluation is carried out on the experimental animal. On the experimental animal, which animal again? The animals which resemble the human being. You understand? The monkeys are the very good animals for the experimentation. The monkey someone has not muted their mic. Someone has not muted their mic. Okay. So preclinical evaluation. Preclinical evaluation, what is the preclinical evaluation? Meaning is that after studying in vitro, first study is in vitro, that is a research study. It may take 5 years to study the all characteristic of that virus. After in vitro study, then in vivo, that is an animal. Experimental animal. Which experimental animal? Monkeys, rabbits, sometimes hamsters, different animals are used, but mostly the animals which have immune system resembling the human being. Inoculate it. Why? The prepared vaccine inoculate in the animal. It is, you see again, scientifically, the word killed should not be used. Animals are killed, not killed. We should use the word sacrifice. They are sacrificing for the human being. You are using the monkeys. Monkeys are also life like a human being. You are using them for experiment. So use the word monkeys have sacrificed. So monkeys are used for the experiment. Testing is carried out whether the vaccine is really safe or not. Because the first target always in vaccine is the safety. than the immunogenicity. Immunogenicity is the second. The first target is always the safety. Whether the vaccine prepared is a safe or not. So that is carried out preclinical trial. That is called as a preclinical trial on the animals. They are carried out. And it may require 1 year, minimum 1 year preclinical trials on the animal. So many industries, many vaccine candidates have been tried on the animal and they are found to be safe. And second target in the preclinical trial is immunogenicity. Three important factors are there to develop the vaccine. First, whether it is a safe or not. If it is a safe, then it is tested whether it is having immunogenicity or not. Whether it is able to produce antibodies in the host or not. Third, what is the standard dose? Meaning is that now we have to decide the dose. So, how much dose to be administered, to be injected in the human being? And after deciding the dose, immunogenicity, and whether it is a safe or not, then it is considered that the vaccine is a safe. And then next question is that how long the T cell memorize the antibody production or immunogenicity. Then every year you have to take, or sometimes, for example, smallpox, you know that we have taken once in the life smallpox vaccine and memory is a lifelong. But for the influenza, it is not lifelong. So like that, how much is the memory, that also you have to decide. These are the different factors which has to be decided. Now at present, whenever the vaccines are prepared, no one is bothered about the memory. Because at present, we are worried about the present situation. We may get recovered for 1 year, 2 year. That is also a relaxation. So at present, no one is bothered about the memory. Everyone is developing only vaccine, maybe temporary use, but our vaccine should come in the market. Then there are different phases. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, as just Honorable Principal ma'am has told. Same thing. And then approval. Then actually for the approval also time is required. Why? Because whole data should be analyzed properly. Data should be presented properly. And the presented data should be submitted to the WHO, to the Central Disease Control in India, to ICMR in India, to the FDA in USA, and WHO in the world. Then they give the approval. So there is a approval is the next week, next process. And after the approval, you see, the production starts. Means after the approval, industry is thinking of starting the production, building the industry, purchasing the instrument, construction, and everything. That is a usual process. But in present scenario, every word, every administrator, every prime minister, every king of the different countries, every dictator of the countries is worried about the coronavirus. So they are telling to the industries, we'll give infrastructure, we'll give the machinery, we'll give the budget, but start. So it is the candidate coronavirus, COVID-19 vaccine is likely to come within 1 year from the beginning, because already we have completed 6 months for the research, 6 to 9 months already we have completed. So within coming 6 months, it may come in the market. So minimum time is said to be 1 year and 3 months is the minimum time. So after the approval, post licensing, and after licensing, safety activities and safety issues has to be worked out, and at a global monitoring we have to start. Then distribution is the next part, and after the distribution, for injecting, proper training should be given. For transportation, you see, because many times these being a live vaccine, they must be preserved at a lower temperature. During the transportation, for the storage, precautions should be taken. So these are the many things related with the development of vaccine, and WHO is regularly warning every industry, don't be hurry, don't be panic, because it may have blunder mistake. There is a possibility of the blunder mistake. I'm coming to the points. Whether there were some blunder mistakes in the past? Yes, there were mistakes in the past. We have to learn. And this time for COVID-19, everyone wants a vaccine, so that we should not be very, very fast. We should not neglect some important steps, and we should not make hurry. So maybe slow process, but it should be promising. So what are the promising? Again, next slide, please. I'm going to give you, there is one example I will give. Next slide, please. One example. This is again the same thing. Research, preclinical trial, phase second, phase third, building factories, manufacturing, approval, same thing which I have told. Next slide, please. So it may take some time. So in the phase one, objectives are different in each phase. In the phase one, I have told you, safety and immunogenicity is the immunogenic study. Immunogenicity means development of antibody. In the phase second, dose is decided. So in the phase second, different doses are given, different doses to the different population, and which is the optimum dose, it is decided in the phase second. And in the phase third, efficacy. Efficacy means whether it is immunogenic, no doubt, but whether it is producing a large amount of antibodies or a small amount of antibodies, whether it is effective or not. Merely production of antibody doesn't mean the person is protected. Whether it is efficient in production of antibodies. So these are the clinical trial, 3 clinical trials important. And it may take years together. Next slide, please. It may take years together. So the human trial focus initially, go to the second slide. I will not go on this. Say second. So the target population, I will go next slide, please. Next slide again. So you see, preclinical trial is on mice or monkeys or rabbits, minimum 30 days, but maximum it may take 1 year. Then phase 1. Phase 1, why for phase 1 is given? Whether it is a safe or not. When we want to test the safety, it has to be administered only to small group, because large group we cannot keep for a risk. Large group, it should be small group. So 10 to 100, not more than 100. Risk should not be taken. And the persons belonging to only 18 to 55 years age should be taken. Why? Because they are healthy persons. And what we are testing in the phase 1? In the phase 1, we are testing mainly the safety. So the person should be healthy. Then and then this vaccine should be tested whether it is safe or not. Otherwise, if the person is above 55 years age, he is compromised. Immunogenicity is compromised. As a result of it, he may die because of the vaccine. So it is given, it is tested only from 18 to 55 years age healthy individuals, and the dose is also optimized. So 1 year, minimum 1 year is required for phase 1. Minimum 1 year, because we have to prepare the vaccine, we have to select the volunteers, then give the training for the administration, see the effect at least for 1 month, and analyze the results, and then prepare for the second stage. Phase second is minimum people in the phase second is 100 to 1000, and in phase second different age groups are used: children, young and adults. Different phase groups are, different age groups are used in the phase second, and the vaccine is tested. And the short term and long term effects, both term, you see, because today we are testing only short term effect. I will talk on the long term effect. I will give one example: streptomycin antibiotic. Streptomycin antibiotic was brought in the market, you know that, in 1945. First scientist Waxman, he proposed, he suggested, he first time told the uses of streptomycin. It's a broad spectrum antibiotic, and everyone was using the antibiotic streptomycin. After 6 years, understand the time, after 6 years, doctor came to know adverse effect of the streptomycin. It is damaging 8th cranial nerve. It is damaging, it causes a deafness if excess dose of streptomycin is given. That's why streptomycin must be used only and only in emergency. Many drugs are magic, but should not be administered as and when required, because they are having side effects. And to understand the side effect, long-term effect, it is called as a long-term effect, 2 years are required. Just I will give an example of Sputnik 5th, which is developed by Russia. They told that our vaccine is the best vaccine, and they told that our vaccine do not cause any side effect. Some side effects are there, they are milder side effects. They told that only increase in the temperature, but if we take a tablet to decrease the temperature, antipyretic tablet, there is no problem. And the Prime Minister of the Russia has given this vaccine to his daughter to convince the people that it is a safe vaccine. But at present, yesterday's news is there, they have taken back the Sputnik vaccine. They have taken back. They are forced by the WHO to take the vaccine back. The reason is only it is causing many side effects. Now they have brought another vaccine in the market, and they are now claiming that another vaccine is more safe than the Sputnik. So again I am telling you, side effect of the vaccine is a major problem. In my childhood, I took a vaccine on my forearm, and at a site there was an irritation. That is also a side effect. But it persists only for 24 hours. So milder side effects are allowed, but there should not be large side effects or major side effects. Major side effects are not allowed. Some vaccines, for example, I will tell you polio vaccines, they affect on the brain, and they cause a paralysis. So if the vaccine is produced by this industry at present, if it protects from the coronavirus, but after 1 year, after 2 years, the human being is suffering by paralytic attack, whole population will suffer from paralytic attack, and then we will realize the vaccine was wrong. You understand? That is a risk in the vaccine. So always the vaccine should be first priority in the vaccine is that vaccine must be safe. Then the another priority is that whether it is efficient is not or not, how long it will create the immunity, and what is the dose, and all other characteristics are secondary. But first priority is that whether the vaccine is safe or not. And that is usually studied after 2 years are required. But for this vaccine, we are taking a risk. We are taking a risk. Within 3 months, we are testing whether it is a harmful or we are taking only 3 months. Because yesterday there was news in the Pune, vaccine is tested in the some hospitals like Bharati Vidyapit Hospital. There it has been tested, but 3 months the patient will be observed continuously for any side effect. And in the phase third, now the last phase. So last phase has been started now. Some vaccines have already started last phase. In the last phase, 1,000 to 1 lakh, you see. Large population is tested, generally 10,000, but up to 1 lakh. Some vaccines are testing 30,000, and it will require 3 years. It requires 3 years for observation of the last phase, and up to more than 10,000 persons should be tested. And then we take the data of it. We should collect the observations, and that observations we should submit to the WHO. So again, I am telling everyone, particularly from microbiologists, don't be panic for the vaccine. If this seminar is organized not for very soon vaccine will come in market and will be covered from the pandemic COVID-19. This seminar is to realize that vaccine will not come fastly. It will take minimum 2 years. Before that, we'll recover definitely by the herd immunity, by the natural immunity. So this vaccine will help you in the next year for if there is again second attack, to take a precaution, this vaccine will be useful. Next slide, please. Then, next slide, please. Next slide. Yes. Let us come to the Covishield, which is the maximum discussed in India, because there are 3 vaccine candidates in India. First, we'll discuss about the Covishield. Covishield vaccine, Serum Institute, and really credit goes to the Serum Institute. Now I'm going to tell you why my vaccine will come in market earlier. What is the why? Because it takes 10 years to develop a vaccine. But for COVID-19, within 1 year, within 1.5 years, we are producing a vaccine. Why? I'm going to tell you why we are going to produce a vaccine within 1 year and 6 months. So first, Covishield. What Covishield have? Who is producing Covishield? The Serum Institute of India, one of the largest industry of the world. Serum Institute of India. They have done collaboration with the Oxford. They have done collaboration with the AstraZeneca. So AstraZeneca, Oxford, and Serum Institute from India. The Oxford is from United States, and they are developing a vaccine. Now, what is a very important point in this vaccine is that this Serum Institute have taken a risk. What risk? Because after completing a vaccine, after getting approval, any industry thinks about the production. But Serum Institute, what they did? They assumed that the results will be positive. That is again, you see, positive attitude. We don't know really the results will be good or not. If the results, for example, by chance, Unfortunately, the results goes against the test. All 30 crore doses they have to throw in the West. And there will be the great economical loss to the Serum Institute. They have taken a risk. What risk they have taken? Already they are preparing the vaccine. And whenever the vaccine will be tested and whenever approval will be there in their hand, 30 crore doses will be ready with them. You see. That's why our Honorable Prime Minister, he told on 15th August, road map is ready. Road map in India is ready. Meaning is that 30 crore vaccines will be ready as soon as the results are available. And then how to distribute? Through in the cold storage, because the cold vans are required for distribution. So how to distribute and how to inoculate, how to inject, how it should be distributed throughout the India, which priority should be given, front warriors will be the priority, and then which will be the second priority. Everything is decided by the ministry. So they are telling that only we are waiting for the vaccine. And unfortunately, Serum Institute of India have done the agreement. Already there is an agreement. There is a agreement in between the Serum Institute and other countries. That is a 50% they must export. It is not in our hand. Already agreement is there. So only 15 crores will be, they can distribute only in India. You see. Again, I am telling you why we should not be more panic. 15 crores will be in India. And how much doses will be required? We don't know. At least minimum 2 doses will be required. When 2 doses will be required, so how many persons will be immunized? Only approximately 7 crore person will be immunized in India. Out of 135 crore population in India and 750 crore population of the world, only by December end, they will be having 7 crores within 3 months. Meaning is that up to January, February and March, up to March end, only 7 crore human beings will be protected in India if everything goes positive. And let us hope for positive. Then other people, then they will decide whether the diabetic persons, whether vulnerable people should be immunized. The government will decide. And then the healthy people, the number of healthy people will be there. So the Covishield is a live vaccine. It is a live vaccine. And live, what is the advantage of the live vaccine? Advantage of the live vaccine is that it gives lifetime immunity, whereas the attenuated vaccine never gives lifetime immunity. Example is a polio vaccine. You see, polio vaccine we have to give to the children regularly. Although he has taken the vaccine already, again second time he has to take the vaccine, again third time he has to take the vaccine. Continuous buffer doses, that is called as a buffer doses. But the live vaccine mostly gives the lifelong and efficient. And only the disadvantage of the live vaccine is that it cannot be given to the immunosuppressed. So there is a risk. It has to be tested many times on the immunosuppressed. And many companies are now claiming that we have tested already on the immunosuppressed, on the children, and it is safe. Again, I am coming to the safety point. So live vaccine can cause, not always, but can cause the damage to the immunosuppressed. For example, HIV patient, for example, cancer patient, for example, the patient who is continuously on steroids. So these patients, this vaccine may damage the human being. So this Covishield is tested at 19 places. Aadhar Poonawalla will require, he is telling that, he told that it will require May, and so it may come in market in December 2020. And Aadhar Poonawalla told that it may take 2 years. He himself in the interview. Always I am telling to the listener, at least to the microbiologist, don't go to the WhatsApp University. Don't go to the any channel on the TV. They are only for TRP. Don't blame them, but don't listen them. If you want to listen the interview of Harshvardhan, who is the health minister of India. He is giving correct news. Only listen to Aadhar Poonawalla. Only listen to the chairman of the Bharat Biotech. Only listen to the Soumya Swaminathan, who is the member of WHO. Their interviews are available on the YouTube. Go on the YouTube. Listen them. They are giving correct news. And don't be panicked for the corona vaccine. And transport at low temperature, next slide please, is a problem, major problem. Then Moderna vaccine. Wockhardt is also producing. US National Institute of Allergy collaboration Moderna is having. And up to October 22, they are claiming that the vaccine will come in market, and it is a mRNA vaccine. Means you see many companies are there producing vaccine. Then biological US, Johnson & Johnson, all companies which are very famous. Wockhardt is there. Then biological US is there. J&J, Johnson & Johnson is there. Pfizer is there. Israel Biotech. Israel Biotech already have told that they have started third phase. Then Casino Biotech in China. In China, many candidates are there. And already they have given vaccine to the soldiers. You see, they have given vaccine to the soldiers. So Casino Biotech China, Beijing Institute of Biological Products, they have produced inactivated vaccine, and they are telling that in July 21, our vaccine will be in market. Again, Russia Sputnik 5, that vaccine has failed now. And they have produced it with the Center for Clinical Research on Medication in Russia. That is Gamaleya Research Center. But it is failed now. They have taken it back, and now they are claiming that another vaccine we have brought in the market, and they are telling that that vaccine should not be injected, only it should be forced through the skin, because vaccine administrations are having different ways. Mostly the vaccines are given intramuscular, some are given intradermal, some are given orally, some are given nasal route, and some are only jet, forced through the jets. So next slide please. There are different ways, there are different routes. Now the Zydus Cadila, very important. They have produced ZyCoV. ZyCoV, that is the vaccine produced, ZyCoV-D, Zydus Cadila. It is an RNA vaccine. It is a purely Indian company. And Pankaj Patel is the owner. Like Aadhar Poonawalla is the owner of the Serum Institute. It is also an Indian company. 3 Indian companies are working like anything, and their candidates are already in the third phase. So the ZyCoV. The interview of Pankaj Patel are on YouTube. I will request everyone, if you want, because within this short time I cannot explain each and everything. You can go on their YouTube, on their interview. Pankaj Patel interview already on the YouTube. He is from Gujarat, Ahmedabad, and he is producing the vaccine, and he is telling that he is after better safety. Next slide. Next slide, please. In India, Dr. Vijay Somani, I will take in short now. Vijay Somani, he is the director of the DCGI India, who is giving permit approval, and they have given the clinical trial registry of India is there, and they are telling that 1 year and 3 months are required, and FDA is telling that 22nd October will be minimum time required. Next slide, please. So in India, in the world, now let us come to the Covaxin. Why I have taken lastly the Covaxin? Because this Covaxin is produced in collaboration with the NIV Pune, National Institute of Virology Pune, and ICMR. Means our government have collaborated with the Bharat Biotech. And because of the public pressure, you see the public pressure is that much, everyone is waiting for the vaccine. Because of the public pressure, in the July, ICMR have released one letter, official letter, and that letter was leaked in the social group. In that letter, ICMR director have written that by 15th August, our vaccine will be ready. It was totally wrong. And they have kept mum up to the time on that letter. Everyone has